Bernie Simons, due to injury tonight, Deontay Burton. Hamidou Diallo's had a real good summer league among the chief, and he will toss it as we are underway here at Cox Pavilion. So, for the pink shoes. Blocked from behind and then recaptured by Burton. Blocked from the backside by Kevin Pavy for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Strong move, Diallo. Up short there, and the rebound to Irby. Diallo drives, and again attacking the cup on the first 6 of the contest.
You know, when we look at the Blazers play, you always ask yourself, okay, what is the coach looking for? The first thing you got to do is impress the coach defensively. And the latter stages of this tournament, the coach is looking for defenders as Burton knocked.
Under Terry Stotts, Isaiah, that has gotten consistent play, and yes, they have brilliant backcourt play, but they've done a great job of finding the right guys to work,
to get to the foul line, and a major competitor.
Nice pocket pass, off the window and down. Is moving up and down the court with a bit of a limp. And a blocking foul called there, yes.
Well, he's used to coming back. And I have all the belief, faith, and hope that he does.
Oh, big two-handed slam over the top.
Going to get playing time. And none of these players are going to be the Westbrooks or the Paul Georges. So they got to find roles that they can fit into. And that's what coaches are looking for right now. Who can fit on their team for 7-8 minute stretches?
Gian Clavel hitting the jumper. Nice look. Pavy down the lane with the finish.
And most people try to stand out on the offensive end, when really what this league is starving.
Rebound to Portland. Jalen Horde with the distribution. And a three-pointer down. And trying to find a spot in the Rose City. Blazers with a 1-point lead, but it is short-lived.
But he's a Bobcat, and I'm a Bobcat.
He
played on the men's team. I played on the women's team. He finished with 2000 career ball player to ever come out of Ohio University, so had to give him some more love. Obviously in the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame. I was lucky enough to cover his son once in college when Duke played Virginia, and I'll never...
Trent on the deck, a spin, a fade, and a make.
Second-year players, Gary Trent Jr., it's their opportunity. They put in a lot of work this year behind the scenes, and now it's an opportunity.
Be where you are right now, not from a winning standpoint, but just from a chemistry and culture standpoint.
But you know, it was done in stagemanship role that Dame really embraced after we made the change after the first 3 years, and then CJ knowing that he was going to come into his own as a player. That's kind of where we've had a good culture, but then there was a shift because of the leadership. And
the game, not only has the game changed, but the confidence that the players have in their offensive repertoire, in their shot-making ability.
The game has obviously been moved out, and you got guys like Dame and CJ who can, and Dame, I mean, that can make that type of range and check the paint. He'll be good in pick and rolls. He's an effective scorer in the paint. He and Damian and CJ are already have a relationship going
together well. Even though they're both ball dominant, I think in D'Antoni's offense, he'll find a way to get those two to play to the NBA champion. And I think that's where our league has moved to, and I think that's what makes it so exciting right now.
Grantham misses the free throw, offensive rebound for Pavy, and the player movement, you know, some people may not like it, but it does produce a wealth of compelling storylines.
Ray Lewis with the jumper.
Well, the one thing about our league is we know it's not boring.
No. No, and there are no days off. Strong move to the rim.
What you know about OKC is they have done a good job drafting players. Now, they've had certainly does it make it competitive, and as you said, makes the games important. Because now you're seeding, your playoff seeding.
And to our left, Billy Donovan just walked back to his courtside seat. And you know the gears are turning. Grantham to the rim with the finish. City trying to break a streak of first-round exits in the playoffs. Straight line drive, no finish, but a foul by Jarnell Stokes.
You know, unfortunately in this league, we know what happens to coaches when they're in this rebuild start over mode.
Hervey, a great look ahead from Evans.
Has gotten it right so many times and gets it first every single time. I can't think of one.
Yeah, two-time National Sports Writer of the Year. Hervey flips it up and in, and it will.
Yeah. You know, they just got stronger with Whiteside. So these two need each other now more than ever. And they still got
to defend, to take a step back, and to defer. And we're going to naturally assume because of this, they're going to be willing to do that. That's a go home or go hard bet that Daryl Morey is making. It sounds like he's betting his job on this. I just felt like something was going to happen with Russ. And there were 3 criteria that people came up with and said, if you're going to trade for Russell Westbrook, you have to have a strong front office, one message, you can't have deviation from that, strong head coach, someone who Russell Westbrook respects, and someone who can coach Russell Westbrook. Understand what you're saying. But the difference is those 2 players were not James Harden as we know him now and Russell Westbrook as some of the things that Tillman Fertitta has said about Mike D'Antoni, tacitly or directly, that he's going to hold Mike D'Antoni accountable if this thing does not start off the way that it's supposed to in his mind. Now, we know chemistry is something that develops over time. You got to get in training camp. You got to play 20 or 30 games before you figure it out. Will D'Antoni have to vote for that? And will Russell Westbrook be invested in Mike D'Antoni as a coach who he's never had to play for? Like, there are more questions than definites at this point. I will say this, Zeke, and you as an executive.
You would think that having a guy like Harden and Westbrook playing in that system would be just dynamic.
And once again, getting the talent. And the one question I have for Russell Westbrook, to a large degree, is does he have the savvy? In that first 3-game losing streak, will you revert back to your old habits? Will that sacrifice go out the window? And that's the thing that I am not sure.
To it. And yes, while we are all hopeful and we are fans of what we're watching,
to make a deal doesn't mean you make the deal that's in front of you. I'm not saying that if it came down to it, I wouldn't have done it either. But you
high reward, and I know there's 3 cities I will find you at. I will find you in Houston. I will find you in season. This is the best backcourt in the NBA. I mean, not only from a scoring standpoint, from a rebounding standpoint.
It gets back to what Vincent was talking about. Vincent Goodwill of Yahoo Sports joined us in the 3rd quarter. And it's how well do these pieces.
But I know if you get a chance to start a team and you're saying I can have Westbrook and Harden, you who are desperate to win right now. You got your head coach in terms of D'Antoni. You got Westbrook and you got Harden. So that collectively, if they can come together and get on the same page mentally, then they're going to be special. Or they're going to, go down in flames in this situation.
Well, how about having 2 MVPs on the same team within the last 3 seasons? Trent, beautiful move and a fit.
We had Terry Stotts sitting here earlier, and, in this team, how do you handle pressure? How do you execute under pressure? Are you selfish? Are you unselfish? And are you a gamer? And are you always played? And I just like the way this young player is developing in our league.
Stokes banging bodies with Hervey, hooks it up and in. NBA official. They're very interested in hearing what players have to say as Hervey dials up a 3 to push the lead to 7 for Oklahoma City. How the game should be officiated, because the game has changed. It's not the same. Clavel, his 3 is through. And the rebound to Jalen Hoard. Portland down 4. They need a hoop, and they get it from Stokes, and the foul.
You want to miss. And if you can get a miss, you can take a quick timeout. That's an offensive foul there.
Obvious offensive foul. Diallo goes to the cup, and then followed by... And then a throwaway, and Deonte Burton is going to take this to the bank.
After that game 5, they were all worried about me because I was so depressed.
Trent.
So coming back game 6, they all came up, gave me a pat on the back.